You are a truly magnificent being, existing within a multitude of different dimensions simultaneously, even right now as you're listening to this. The self that you perceive in this reality right now here on Earth is only a tiny fraction of your real self. In fact, when you are in full awareness of who you really are, you will know that you are one with literally everything. However, for simplicity, when I refer to your divine self, I am actually referring to your higher self. Your higher self is actually you that exists in a higher dimension. Dimensions represent different levels of consciousness, and the dimension you perceive is generally a reflection of the level of consciousness which you are now in. Generally speaking, the higher the dimension you exist in, the higher your level of conscious awareness and your perceived connectedness with all things. The Earth that we perceive exists in the third dimension. In the grand scheme of things, the current human perception in the third dimension is very low and very dense. This is why a lot of humans believe they are separate from everything else. In reality, your third dimensional self is just a thought being emanated from your higher dimensional self. That's right, you're just a thought. You may not necessarily be aware of your higher dimensional self just yet, but rest assured that they are very aware of you. I say they because you have more than one higher self. The fourth dimension is known as the Astral Plane and is slightly less dense than this third dimension. Your chakra system, which is essentially an interface that allows your soul to exist within your physical body, actually exists in the fourth dimension. The third and fourth dimensions are reflections of each other. By this I mean that whatever happens in the third dimension also happens in the fourth dimension and vice versa. Now, when you get to the fifth dimension and higher, the game starts to change. I'll cover the different dimensions in more detail in future. However, for now, just know that once you reach the fifth dimension, you exist in a state of pure joy. Generally speaking, when you connect with your higher self, you are actually connecting with an aspect of you that exists in the fifth dimension or higher. Personally, I have connected with my fifth dimension Arcturian self, as well as an aspect of me that exists in the eighth dimension. So how do you connect with your higher self? First of all, you need to realize that you already are and always connected, but you are simply not consciously aware of your connection. The trick is to bring that connection into your conscious mind. How do you do that? Using your chakra system. I won't go into detail about the chakra system now, but I will briefly explain the important bits so that you can start practicing to connect with your higher self. You have 7 chakras which start at the bottom of your spine and ends at the top of your head. It is important to note that all the chakras are crucial for existing in the third dimension. However, I will only be introducing you to the chakras that are needed to establish the connection with your higher self. Before I do, I want to point out that this is only a basic description for you to get started, and some of you may take quite a few tries before you start to have even the slightest glimpse of your higher self, but if you keep practicing, it will happen. The 3 main chakras to use are known as your heart chakra, which is located in your chest just next to your heart, your third eye chakra, which is located in the center of your brain, although you can imagine it directly between your eyes, and your crown chakra, which is located at the top of your head. For those of you who have never done this before, I suggest that you find a quiet spot to either sit down or lie down and let your breath take you to a relaxed state. I am reluctant to say breathe in for this long and then breathe out for that long, because then you'll start focusing on the timing of your breath rather than just relaxing and letting all thoughts go. So what I will say is just breathe naturally and in a way that is comfortable for you. Now focus on the top of your head and imagine a white beam shooting straight up. What you are actually doing is opening up your crown chakra, which is the conduit through which you can bring your higher self into your conscious mind. You may feel a tingling sensation at the top of your head as you do this. Now that you have opened your crown chakra, maintain that connection and imagine the white beam extending down to your chest just next to your heart, which is where your heart chakra is located. Now that you have linked your crown chakra and your heart chakra, every time you breathe in, imagine the white beam bring love into your heart chakra through your crown chakra, and every time you breathe out, imagine yourself sending that love directly into your surroundings out through your heart chakra. What this whole process is doing is raising your vibration so that it is easier for you to connect with your higher self. Take your time and just focus on your breathing, soaking in love from the universe and sending love to your surroundings. You will soon start to feel your body getting lighter. Once this happens, you can slowly shift your focus from your breath and bring your focus to your third eye. Just imagine that point between your eyes. Now all you need to do is send out the thought, "I invite my higher self to come forth." Mentally say this thought to yourself as many times as you feel comfortable, and then let go of the thought and focus back onto your breathing in and out love. After a while, your higher self will reveal itself. Now here's where it gets interesting, because the higher self reveals itself to everyone in different ways. Some people will hear a voice, others will see an image appear in their mind, while others will simply feel a presence. You may also inadvertently start mentally having a conversation with yourself. If this happens, then just go with it. Ask yourself questions and then see what answers come into your mind's eye. In my own personal contact, it comes through as a telepathic image as well as feeling the presence. They have also communicated to me both in waking and sleeping states by implanting thoughts into my mind that I know are not my own. They have also verbally channeled through me. Now please don't be disheartened if you don't perceive them right away. Believe me that they are trying to establish the link with you as well, but it may just be that you are not yet able to raise your vibration to the level necessary to make the connection right away. Like everything, the more you practice, the easier it becomes, so make sure you persevere. It may also help to put some meditation music to help raise your vibration. I certainly hope that this advice helps you, because I can tell you that connecting with your higher self is such a joyous experience filled with pure love. Your higher self also knows you better than you know yourself, as weird as that sounds, and once you have that conscious connection, they will be there to help you and reassure you in a very direct way.